Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Melissa. So today I'd like to present to you a very special guest, straight from the library, Becca!
Hi!
About ruined my couch.
I did.
That was awesome though.
That's red.
So today we're going to be doing the Totally Should've book tag.
That hurt my hand a little, by the way. Side note.
So I was tagged by Miss Molly O to do this tag, so we're gonna do it together.
Yeah,
we thought
we are.
it'd be fun. And as you can tell, we're in a different background. We just decided to do it here because
chairs
that's
are
what we
comfy.
wanted. Yeah, that's what we wanted to do. We just wanted to do it right here on the couch.
Yeah, we do.
So, should we get into this tag?
Yes.
Don't mind my child. So, question one is, a book that totally should have had a sequel. So, we were talking, and honestly, I don't know if I would want a book to have a sequel, only because I feel like if it did, then maybe it wouldn't be as good as the first one, or it would just be, like, filler information, or, like, they're just trying to fill a book just to satisfy people.
Yeah, like, you get too many books now have, like, novellas with them, and that can be really frustrating because they're not...
But some novellas are okay.
Some are good, but I just don't...
But some of them I feel like aren't necessary.
Yeah, like, I don't feel like the author should feel like they have to just because other people think they should.
Yeah.
That's where I get frustrated. Like, if you think you've got enough for a good story or you was already planning to do some side stuff, go for it. But if you weren't...
Yeah.
Then why are you?
Then, yeah, don't just write a book just to...
Don't do a cash grab. There's plenty of those in Hollywood already. Don't join the bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly. So, question number 2 is a book that totally should have had a spin-off series.
I feel like refer to question 1.
Yeah. But me, however, I would love a spin-off series of A Court of Thorns and Roses. Only because I love this book so much, I would love, like, maybe a spin-off series of some of the other characters, and so you could read a little bit more about their stories. So, like, maybe Kazan and Nessa, or Israel and more, you know, whatever. I think maybe a spin-off series from this would be really good, just because I did love it so freaking much. You know how much I love this book.
I did. But you gotta do it right.
But yeah, I wouldn't want a spin-off series if it's just like
a cash grab kind of thing. It's like, no, do it right.
Exactly.
If you're gonna spend the time, because it takes sometimes years to write a book, do it right.
Yeah. So question number 3, an author who totally should write more books.
John Green, obviously.
Sarah
But
Damas.
I understand why he doesn't want to
He doesn't
have
want to
books
do
that are bad, just to have them.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to write good quality books.
And he does other stuff too. He does like mental floss videos on YouTube. You should watch if you haven't. So I like with him, you do have things that are creative outlets of his that I can fulfill my John Green needs.
Yeah.
As it were.
So question number 4, a character who totally should have ended up with anyone else. Oh
How
my
much
gosh.
time
How
do
much
you
time do you have?
We've narrowed it down to 2. Katniss. Although I don't think she should have ended. She needed someone who was strong like Gale but sweet like Peeta. And yes, there are men like that out there, and there are men like that in these books. So she needed to end up. She needed Gale's strength and Peeta's kindness. She needed a good mix of them.
Yes.
And I'm not saying they were a bad couple or anything.
No, they're not a bad couple.
I think of the choices available, he was right, but she could have just chose not to at all, and they could have. Her and Peeta could have been friends. They could have been best friends. I don't see that as a problem.
I would have rather them not be together than like to be together and just like
because you could even have been friends who shared a house. They could have been roommates, and occasionally when they had nightmares, share a bed, but nothing romantic. There's nothing. I don't think that is strange. Yeah, lots of roommates do that if someone gets scared or sad. Yeah, you sleep together that night, and all you're doing is sleeping. Yeah, totally. Or it's a cold house too.
Another one.
4.
Oh, this one makes us so angry. We don't like Triss. Like,
I liked her the first one.
Like the first book, she was
didn't
really
mind
good.
her in the second one.
The second book, she started going downhill.
And the third
book,
one,
oh my gosh, like seriously.
It's just
yeah,
he agrees.
He agrees.
He agrees. It just got too whiny. And
Yeah.
And she got to be kind of mean.
She did.
And even to her brother. And I realized her brother wasn't the best person, but it's your brother. Yeah. Or, like, his morning wasn't as good as hers. So, like, it was his parents, too. Yeah. No matter how he felt.
Everybody mourns in their own way. Like, seriously.
And he was a bit more of a crier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, like, that was a bad thing. He's like, oh, your parents died. He has every right to cry about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he still functioned. He still did what needed to be done. Mm-hmm. But just, there's too many books where, like, the main female character, King's Cage, but the third book, you're just like, come on! Kind of action going on.
Exactly.
10 points to Gryffindor if you get that reference.
Let's see. What question was we on? Okay, question 5. A book that totally should have ended differently.
I don't know. It's hard to... I feel like that would be like if I could go back in the past and change ... Well, it could have been worse.
Yeah. Like, there are books that I would think, oh, I would love if this ending would have happened, but I don't necessarily think that would have made the story any better.
And then sometimes it's nice when it's not what you expected.
Yeah,
and it's like it's kind
exactly.
of like if you read Everything, it's a full twist ending. Mm-hmm. It's nice. It's kind of refreshing.
And like Heartless from Marissa Meyer, that was a really good book. And that ended, I did not see coming. I wish it was different, but it was still such a good book. Mm-hmm. Like, I wouldn't change it, even though I did not like the ending.
Yeah.
But
I feel like endings that you don't necessarily like so much are a lot more real to life because things don't always end go the way you plan, and that's just the nature of life.
Yeah, not everything should be the way you want it. Even in a book, it shouldn't always be the way you want it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so question number 6. A book that totally should have been a movie. Or should have had a movie. Oh, no, buddy.
I feel like the problem, though, is Hollywood either gets it really, really right or really, really wrong. In between is almost never, and those are even worse. I'd rather watch very wrong or very good. Because sometimes very wrong is just very wrong because it's very different, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Still enjoyable. But then you get, like, City of Bones, the movie, where it's like, you're kind of lukewarm. Some things are good, some things are bad, but it doesn't stray enough in either direction.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, okay, cool, I can roll with this.
Yeah, I don't know if I, like, any books that I would love, like, I would want made into a movie, because a lot of times they get portrayed differently in movies. And sometimes, if somebody hasn't read the book, it could be portrayed to them differently, and it would make them not want to read the book. Yeah. And the books usually are so much more better.
And they may not ever want to read anything by that author because of a bad movie.
Because of what the movie is.
Because, like, Aragon was awful. If I watched Aragon the movie before I'd read the book, I'd never want to read Aragon because it was that bad. As a movie, and as a book-to-movie adaptation, just, no.
I feel like people take the movie first and kind of, like, judge it by the movie. Yeah. And, like, oh, the movie was awesome. I want to read the book now.
Yeah. And it's like, you've got to take them as two separate things. The movie is one thing and the book is another.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you shouldn't take them as something together.
Yeah.
Because they're not. They're two different things.
Yeah.
They can't all be A Fault in Our Stars, which was amazing.
It was. Everything was good,
that was
too.
Really good, too.
That was a cute movie.
And they changed it a bit, but it worked.
But they didn't change it too much.
Not a lot, just a few things here.
Just a few things.
And that's what I think some people don't always understand, is what's in a book doesn't always translate to screen. Like, if you think of, like, Harry Potter or The Hunger Games, a lot of it is internal talking. It's their thoughts. You can't put that on screen.
Yeah.
Narration, you can only do so much in a non-children's story before people are like, are we done with narration? Because it's starting to get irritating. And if it's not Morgan Freeman, I mean, can only listen so long. Yeah. He can narrate all he likes, though.
Yeah, but let's not talk about the Divergent movies. Those ones make me angry.
You know what you did.
Like, they are so off from the books. The first movie... It was, and
they don't even take it and like make it their own.
The yeah.
If you take a book and completely change it, but make it your own, that can work.
That's fine. But they changed it so freaking much. But it's like no.
But scattered in some of the actual bits of the book.
Yeah,
scattered a few to make it like the book.
A few details from the book. It's like no, you're just ruining it.
Should we take a deep cleansing breath?
Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Because be still my beating heart.
Question number 7, a book that totally should have had a TV show. So, again, this probably goes along the same line with the movies. However, a book that I would love to be made into a TV show would be this series. I think it would make a really good TV show because there is a lot to it. Kind of like the Outlander series. There's a lot in that book. So it really made a good... I think it translated well to TV. And I think this one would. But I'm also kind of scared that they would ruin my favorite book. I love this book.
I watched the first episode of A Series of Unfortunate Events and had seen the movie. And I want to finish the series. I've read like the first 9 of the 13 books. But I felt it was done really well. So that was another one, like, I kind of thought it might work better that way. Or one movie per book. And they're kind of splitting the books up a little. And though they're short, it's working better. Because there were ideas that can be explored more in a show than that could be in a children's book. It's middle grade. It's meant for like 4th, 5th, 6th graders. So you can only make it so long.
Yeah. But I think, like, for TV shows, you kind of have to find the right book that would translate really well. That has a lot of detail to it. Because that's what you need, a book that has a lot of details. So that way, when you do translate it to TV, you have a lot to work with.
Yeah, because you're going to probably have at least 10 to 12 episodes, so you want to make it work properly.
Yeah, exactly. So question number 8, a book that totally should have had one point of view. Upside down here.
Well, that's how annoyed it made me.
This book?
Yes. Double points of view are hard. Some get it right.
Some
do really well. Like The Help.
Very well.
That was really good, but it was also multiple people in the same town, in the same story. It wasn't like in King's Cage where it was 2 completely separate areas of the country that just didn't blend well. That's another video.
That's a whole nother video.
That's a whole video series.
We should like do a King Cage rant. Like,
put a comment below if you want to hear a King's Cage rant.
If you like to hear our thoughts.
I should ranch.
Yeah, let us know if you'd like to hear our thoughts on King's Cage.
We've spent hours, literally hours,
talking about
discussing how mad we were.
It angers us. It angers us. Okay, let's move on.
Moving on.
Number 9, a book that totally should have had a cover change.
I had one, wait, no, that was a different one, wasn't it? Question?
A cover change or the original cover?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. So, the cover change, we really couldn't think of one.
Because a lot of times if you don't like the cover, you read it and then you're like, oh, I see what you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes I find the ugliest books are actually the most interesting.
And sometimes it could be like an ugly book, but the cover really goes well with the content of the book.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of book covers, is to kind of match the content.
It should,
anyway. So even if the cover is ugly, it may not, like...
be an ugly story.
It may not translate or it may, I don't know how I want to say that.
It might not be like a bad, ugly story.
Yeah, it might not be.
If you, I haven't read it, but I know the gist of A Picture of Dorian Gray. If you had a really snarly picture face, even if and then I read it and I would go, okay, or like a book full of like decay and such, because that's essentially what happens.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, okay, I get you now. I feel you. I got you.
So I don't necessarily think that books should change covers unless it changes it to kind of portray what the book is about.
You know, because the publisher and the author go through a lot of work.
They do. They go through a lot of work
to pick a cover.
To pick it.
So I mean, it probably represents months of deciding.
Yeah, exactly. Number 10 totally should have kept the original covers.
Well, I picked one. I think. Don't quote me. I think this is the original hardcover Harry Potter. This is book 3, and I really like this. I just recently got the whole set at a thrift store. Very excited.
She got them for a steal.
And then this is the paperback, and it makes Hogwarts, which is cool. But then this just, I feel like for me, because this is the copies I read, it kind of makes me remember that initial enjoyment, initial majesty of it. And like, if someone wanted to gift me this set, I wouldn't say no. I mean, really. But I mean, and also, this smells better than this. It smells like plastic. Hardcovers always smell better. Always.
But yeah, I can't think of any original covers on any books that I have.
Although this recover for the Harry Potter actually was nice because it makes Hogwarts. So I can be like, okay, I can see why you maybe want to do an anniversary edition where it does that.
What I don't like is when books change the covers like in the middle of a series, like as they're publishing them.
Yeah.
And they're constantly changing the cover. That I really don't like because I do like my covers to kind of match.
Like these and these are consistent. And when these came out, because they was coming out one at a time, it was a consistent, they're all this similar style. Mm-hmm. But there are books where it's like, or they suddenly have a movie, so the first 3 are like the original, and then the next are movie tie-ins, and I'm like, I hate movie tie-ins.
I hate movie tie-ins.
I don't like that.
Like,
don't do that. I'm all for live people on a book cover if that's what you're going for. I'm not against that. Just don't suddenly do a movie tie-in, or if you're going to do a movie tie-in, which again, I don't like, make them all movie tie-ins.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, you should finish out a series in the original scheme of the covers, and then you could come out with a special edition of something else. Movie tie-in, TV tie-in, or just something different would work fine. Yeah. Yeah.
So the last question is, totally should have stopped at 1 book. So we really couldn't think of one, but we did thought of one that could have stopped at 2 books. And that is the Red Queen series. Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. Yeah. The first and the second book were really good.
They were.
Well, the second book was not like the greatest, but it started kind of.
And it's not uncommon for a sequel to not be quite as good, but still be enjoyable, and then kind of pop up by the third book. Like, I feel like
the first book I really felt was awesome. It was such a good book. Like, but the second book was kind of like, okay, this is getting kind of boring. Yeah. Third book, unnecessary. So freaking unnecessary.
As I said before.
Oh, it angers us. Oh my gosh.
Be still my beating heart.
But yeah, so we couldn't really think of one to stop after one book. Yeah. So, but that is all for this tag. Can we think of anybody to tag? We didn't think about that.
We did not.
I guess we don't have anybody to tag. So if you want to do this, we tag you. Because we can't think of anybody. But we hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to give it a like and hit subscribe. And follow my links in the box.
In the doobly-doo.
Yeah, what is it? Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads. Those are all down there if you want to follow me. Gotta find my button here. So, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!